I lost a little bit of oil, so let's investigate. Let's check the oil level. Looks good. After the last race, my racing lawnmower soiled itself. Let's take it apart. Before I put any new oil in, let me take out the old oil. Bad news, I couldn't get the drain plug out. Good news, I just took the oil filter out instead. It was basically empty anyway. And it's good that I did because it feels a tiny bit sandy. So I'm just gonna put a new one in. Here we go. Next up, let's do the compression test. Let's do a compression test. I already removed the air filters, spark plugs, and I took this wire off, which is the deadman switch, which basically grounds the ignition. Last but not least, I have to connect my compression tester. Power on, and I just have to turn the engine. The engine obviously won't start, and we should see compression building. That's not good. It's at like 55. Are you fucking shitting me? It already fucking broke. You're fucking kidding me. That shit was brand new. It broke, so that sucks. I guess I tightened it a little bit too much, but I really think I didn't tighten it much, like there was no resistance at all. I guess I have to get a new one. Bullshit. I'm gonna ignore that for now and figure out why my wheels are towed out. And the first thing I will do is just measure if they're still roughly the same setting, because that's what I set them to. I don't really remember what I set them to, but I remember I pretty much set them to the same thing. So this one is 18.5 and this one is 16. I also think that the position they are in, I wouldn't have left them in. But so it stays like this. I'm actually gonna make sure that this is tightened all the way, because that's what I forgot last time. So since I can't fix the engine right now, let's just ignore it and see if it starts. I mean, the fuel tank is really low. Let's just give it some hot sauce. Something is smoking. Oil is dripping. And I realized I lost the engine bolts. At least some of them. What is dripping here? I don't know what happened to the engine bolts. Good news is that it starts. Bad news is that it's wobbling around. That's an easy fix. And that it sounds like shit. I will stop for now, cry a little, and then see what I will do. I just realized that my throttle cable is also broken. I put the throttle all the way down, and I can see that something is up with this. I have no idea what it is. So that also needs fixing. So what you want to do is create a good flow through the carburetor and make sure that you don't have spark. So what I did is remove the air filters, make sure that the throttle is wide open, and also remove the cutoff. Because without the cutoff, the spark plugs are just sending electricity directly to the ground. So let's see. Throttle should be wide open, and I don't know if the camera is catching it, but it's at 100 psi, 7 bar. I decided to record this again because I realized I didn't pull the throttle. And without the throttle, just to show you how lost we are, I actually pooped myself. because I only had a pressure of 50 or 60, so like 4 bar. So this side of the engine is at least not broken. Let's now go to the other side. This one is at a 112, 115 psi, so closer to 8 bar, which is actually where I want it. It should be between 100 and 110. This side is even better, which is actually surprising because it was shooting flames for like half an hour straight, but compression is good. The other side is also good. We can save this engine. Now we just have to figure out if we need to replace this plastic cover. Maybe I can steal it from one of my other engines, or I could do the usual thing and just ignore it. What I will need to fix is the frame. I don't know if you can see it, but the entire lawnmower is bent like this in the front. But my engine is not toast. Woo! I'm not sure what happened here. There's a crack right in the middle. This used to be touching, as well as this. Bolt holes still line up. 3 bolts on each side. Same over here. Now that I know that the engine isn't toast and still has decent compression, I will focus on the frame. For that, I need to take the engine out. Then I can inspect the damage, probably cut out a bunch of it, and then re-weld it. I got the engine out, and it looks like this. I also made a stencil, which goes roughly over here. This I used to make a plate in the right shape, so it fits perfectly in here. So next up, I will have to remove this plate. So I have a giant hole in here, because this is not structural sound anyway. Then I can clean up all the paint, weld this one in place, just like this, then get the engine in and figure out where the mounting holes should be. After another hour of welding, it looks like this. It's still a little bit warm. I grind it down a little bit on the sides here, and I also drilled some holes, which are then welded to just have some spot welds. And now it's really strong again, and I'm quite happy with it. So next up, I need to figure out where the engine sits. I only made a hole for the shaft so far, so I will put the engine. I will also put the fuel tank back. I removed it because I was welding right here and didn't want to have a fire, even though I had plenty of those. But I put the fuel tank back, so I know where the engine should sit. And then I can also line it up so it's in the center with a little bit of distance to the fuel tank, and that should be fine. After I have the fuel tank aligned, I will show you a trick on how to actually find the markings perfectly every time. There's plenty of space, so I'm gonna move it a little bit back. So what I will do now is use some spray paint. Just spray it in some kind of plastic thing. Then take a bolt. Bolt looks like this now. And drop it in there. This is one size smaller, so it should be fairly easy. And do the same over here. A little bit more paint. Let's do the other side. Let's see how it looks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that I drilled the holes, I will just put some spray paint real quick. Not gonna be a perfect job, but it's gonna protect it from rusting. I think looks pretty good for a botched job. Ta-da! It's painted and the front is mounted again, so let's put the engine back in. This seems to fit. Let's get a couple of bolts in. I'm gonna try something which I'm not sure is gonna work. Might actually ruin something. So I have a theory why my dipstick fell out. And I think it's because I rotated the fuel tank. It actually can't touch the dipstick. I imagine if it actually shakes a lot, it might just touch the dipstick. So what I will do is actually try to heat it up with this and then try to indent the fuel tank just a little bit to make some clearance. No idea if it actually works. Probably it's not gonna work, and I hope I don't ruin the fuel tank. Let's just get it up one spot. Oh, it's definitely soft. Might actually be working. This is pretty good. I know it's kind of ugly, this counter, but if it works, man. Something I still need to fix is the steering. There's quite a bit of slack, and it's because there's a connection right here, which is somehow loose. So what I will do is just weld it. The engine is back in, the steering is fixed. The brakes I didn't touch yet, that will come in the future. I need to get some new brakes, and that will take some time. But for now, check it out. I will go for a test right now. I'm not gonna bother putting the hood. It's not fully buttoned up yet, but I think it should be ready for a test ride. And then we can actually see, is the engine still working? Let's see how the light is today. That didn't last at all. It's definitely really quick, but I barely have steering at all. And I drove without exhaust. It's 9 in the evening. I don't want to be that annoying, so I'm gonna stop now. But the motor is definitely okay. I need to put exhaust on. I need to make an alignment and also steering stop because I just overshoot the steering. And when you get over 45 degrees steering angle, you basically go straight. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your project, stay healthy, and see you on the next episode. Goodbye! Engine is not toast. Engine is not toast. Maybe the other side is toast. but I really hope not, because that would make me sad.